My last video got ruined because I'm still experimenting with some settings with my audio interface. I had to get a replacement. Anyhow, moving on to business, a link down below in the description box just to credit where I'm reading from. Even though this news I got, and you probably got from Triple H directly, that come 2026, SummerSlam will be a 2-night extravaganza going forward from that year and beyond. What do you think of it? What do I think of it? What are the reasons why they are thinking of doing this? One of the decisions is touted to mirror the size and scale of their premier show, WrestleMania, in North America, especially if WWE opts to host the show of shows in an international location like Saudi Arabia or London. It's also stated here it will give a similar size event to North America. I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe it's because I'm predominantly French. I don't know. Actually, I'm not predominantly French. It's just language. But this, I'm not clicking. Maybe you can help me down below in the description box to elaborate on what in the blue pineapple this actually means. So for me, am I excited? Yeah, I'm excited. It's more wrestling. But at what cost? Some people are worried that the product is going to be more watered down if you have too many matches, less meaningful storylines. And of course that is a possibility. But with Triple H at the reins, at the helm of the new show, of the new product that WWE is nowadays, it helps if I could speak properly, I have good faith that things are going to end up right. And maybe that's why they're going to wait a couple of years. They're going to push for RAW and SmackDown to really start delivering with more meaningful storylines so that when you come to these, you're not filled with like a mixture of like half-ass matches that don't have that many storylines behind them and some others that have really deep ones. And to be honest with you, it's okay to have small rivalries. I really think that it's okay to do that. Not everything has to be Sami Zayn against the Bloodline, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns caliber. It's nice to have some of those, and those are your main event storylines, and the other ones could be mid-card storylines, and they could still end up being good, right? So, again, it is probably obvious, but so long as they utilize their creative time wisely and implement it over the next couple of years, to have it so that not just WrestleMania, but that 4 months later you can build another big story. To me, I don't really see a concern with it. Honestly, I don't think at this point Triple H or anybody else would ever make a rash decision that could jeopardize the product. I think they're comfortable with that decision, and I'm just trusting them. Now, we could joke around and say if Tony Khan was thinking of doing that. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't have anything against AEW. As I've mentioned before, I predominantly cover WWE just because that is my main product of choice, but I do very much appreciate every other wrestling promotion out there. And I simply don't have the time to cover, oftentimes, what other promotions are doing. So again, in the comments section, if you ever want to ask me, hey, what do I think of this? What do I think of that? And I don't know a lot about the situation, I'll probably just dig into it and then kind of share with you my thoughts on it for those that may care about that, to see what my insights are on something. So just remember, there's a reason the acronyms for my channel is ATW. It's all things wrestling. It's not all things WWE. Even though that's what it looks and sounds like most of the time. Again, it's because of time restraints. So yeah, so I'm really excited, and I do want to hear what you think. Are you concerned? Do you think, ooh, this is too much, just WrestleMania should be this way? And now moving forward, now that we're going to do that, what's next? What is going to be next? Is SummerSlam, or is Survivor Series and Royal Rumble going to eventually follow suit, and they're all just going to be 2-night extravaganzas for the 4 main, arguably top PLEs of WWE, right? Because a lot of times, you'd be surprised, some people know of like 2 or 3. So Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those are your 4 arguably main big PLEs. Do I see all of them becoming 2-night events? I could, because you have the Royal Rumble in January, February, March, April. Then like 90 to 100 days later, you have Mania, right? Then over 100 days later, you've got SummerSlam. And then from August all the way, I'm not too good at math, but until August, till August, September, yeah, about another 3 months, in November, December, January. Yeah, so the shortest time period would be, I don't know what this is between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. But again, with the big team that they have, I think that they can make this happen. I think we have a big enough roster, actually, too big of a roster almost, in some ways, that we have sometimes an issue showcasing everybody on SmackDown and Raw. Some weeks you don't see or hear of certain superstars for a while, then they bring some back, then some other ones get, shoved under the rug. So that's something that I would like addressed too as well at some point. Speaking of expanding, is I really could see SmackDown. I'm not saying this is a smart choice. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts. Whether or not they're a bright idea or not, that's a completely different topic of conversation. I personally wouldn't mind SmackDown becoming as long as Raw. Because I think they would be able to do that. And right now, if I were to think, I don't know how big the roster is on Raw compared to SmackDown. I would assume they're not the same. I could be completely wrong. Maybe that's something I should have looked into before. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. So I looked it up. This is including ring announcers and stuff like that, though, from the SmackDown Hotel. There's roughly 59 on Raw and about 53 on SmackDown. Anyways, I'm just saying. I am just saying that I am excited to see where this goes, and I hope it does well. And quite frankly, for the future, I hope that Royal Rumble and Survivor Series, quite honestly, follows suit on paper. Again, I don't know if that's too much. I honestly don't think it is, again, at first glance, but I could be wrong. And this is where I want to hear what you think, okay? Like I said, my last video got ruined. This one somehow ended up longer. Damn it. It was supposed to be shorter. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. Bend it in half, twist it, and give you a solo Sakone spike in the rectum. With your own thumb, by the way, not mine. I had somebody ask me, why would you want to do that with your thumb in somebody else's butthole? And I'm like, no, it's your own. I don't want nothing to do with that. Yeah, seriously, just really, really weird that somebody would think that. All right, I think that is it. And like I said, another reason too, which is obvious, I didn't even want to mention it as to why they might be doing this. Quite frankly, it's called more money. And there were a few people that were complaining, oh, they're just trying to get more money. Well, my goodness, if you don't want people to prosper, move to North Korea. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.